Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. It's been a while since I've actually done YouTube videos. But lots has been going on. Like, has anybody else felt like the last couple weeks or months have been like quite intense? At least for me, I feel like the ups and downs are accelerating massively. Like it's actually insane. It almost feels like a spiral that's accelerating and it's coming to a peak point of something, and something wants to emerge out of this phase of my life into a new phase. And it's very interesting. I want to talk about this, what's been going on in my life, shifting priorities, ideas for the upcoming steps of this channel, some travels to the UK towards my talk at King's College, and my I was visiting Breaking Convention last week. It's a psychedelic conference. I want to share some insights regarding this. And yeah, happy to answer any questions. Like, feel free to say hello, engage. Let's spend some time together. Also, I've been called to go a little bit deeper into Sikhism, maybe Georgian as well. But Sikhism definitely is calling me. I'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, just it's very interesting what's happening in life. It's very interesting, and I feel blessed to be able to have the opportunity to share that journey here with you guys and to be connected with you. Okay, let's start with a song, just as always. Sat Siri Siri Akal Siri Akal Mahakal Mahakal Satnam Akal Murad Waheguru Sat Siri Siri Akal Siri Akal Mahakal Mahakal Satnam Akal Murad Waheguru Sat Siri Siri Akal Siri Akal Mahakal Mahakal Satnam Akal Murad Waheguru. Yeah, I think this is actually a great place to start. I want to start with the meaning of this mantra is more like it's like the big eternal ever present truth, the undying, the unborn truth is its name. And that's what I love about Sikhism. Actually, it's kind of like their wording and their phrasing of God. Actually, can you hear me well? I'm trying to figure out the sound. Okay, I think it's fine. Yeah, like they are very direct in their description of God, and very empty as well of form, very kind of like unifying, and kind of pointing at the formless but appreciating and loving the form as well. The whole essence of Sikhism, of that whole teaching, it's basically based on Guru Nanak. He's been like, it's a very new religion, or a very kind of like new stream of thought. He's been living in the 15th century, I think. And then based on his writings and like 9 following gurus after him, they kind of like compiled the Siri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is their religious text almost. It's seen as the living guru. Um, yeah, and it even has kind of like pulled from some other sources, from other religions, and from other kind of like teachings. But the essence of that whole thing is described in just like 4 words. And it says, Ik Onkar Satanam. And I really, really, really resonate with these words. These were kind of like, I think these were the kind of like the first words that Guru Nanak has been speaking after his enlightenment, after he has been immersed in God consciousness for a couple of days. And he came back after he disappeared, and his first words were, what was it? Nako Muslim, Nako Hindu, something along those lines. I haven't got it completely right, but it basically says there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim, there's only one. So he really kind of like saw through, like some other mystics as well, right? Some saw through the traditional kind of like cultural systems of religious streams of thought at the time, and said there is only one. So ik literally means one. It literally means the number one. So his core key teaching is based on just the realization of oneness, that there is only one. There is only one creator God. Onkar is kind of like the creation, the creator God, in my understanding. So, Ik Onkar, there's only one that has created everything. And then Sat Nam means basically, Sat means truth, and Nam means the name or the essence, right? So its essence or its name is truth. And it's beautiful because it's so direct. It's very it's very to the point. There's no description of, right, Jesus is the way or Kali is the way, which are all beautiful kind of like depictions and pathways to that one. But here it's like, and it goes on to very kind of like describe the qualities of that divine presence of God, of everything that is, and it's just very to the point. It's very direct, and that's what I like about it. And in comparison to, for example, Zen Buddhism or Dzogchen, which I also deeply resonate with and really appreciate. What I appreciate them is kind of like the emptiness of it all, right? They're also very direct and to the point, to the ground of all being, to its essence. But they're very like very, yeah, very clear, just like very right? To the point. And with Sikhism there is a sense of devotion and a sense of, well, kirtan. I wouldn't call it worship, but there is a sense of, right, worshipping creation, worshipping that one, celebration of creation, a celebration of life, and a devotion to the remembrance of God, instead of, and the Zen, the Dzogchen have less of that. They're more like, they're even more direct and to the point. And go beyond devotion even. But I find that flame of devotion, that fire of devotion, is quite beautiful. So what I've been called to do, actually it came from breaking convention. I went to the psychedelic conference recently, and yeah, where do I want to start this story? So I went to this psychedelic conference, and basically the result is that I feel called to specialize, to go deeper with certain things, to almost like decide on a path. a spiritual path, a spiritual practice at least, and to be able to go more into depth with it. I've been in this eternal struggle of breadth with this depth, um, and still am passionate about exploring more, looking into Thelema. What's that religious system called from Crowley? Um, Thelema? I think it was Thelema. Or Thelema, right? Or I haven't even really looked deeply into the Kabbalah or going deeper into Taoism, right? And I've been dabbling a lot into all kinds of traditions, which is beautiful. And ultimately, the ones and the teachers that I resonate most with are the mystics, those who transcend all kind of like systems and pathways altogether. But there is a certain sense of beauty of going deep with one. Same goes for the psychedelic substances. Instead of circling through the LSD and then the mushrooms and then some ayahuasca, then some 5-MeO DMT, then some changa, then some this, that, exploring new ones. And with the psychedelic as well, I feel there is a beauty to going into depth with one, saying like this one resonates most, and I'm gonna dedicate myself to that path and really go deep with that one and face all the fears and face all the darkness and all the shadows with that particular substance, in order then maybe on my path it's definitely kind of like on the horizon to be then able to share that substance and hold that space and facilitate that journey for another person as well, because this is what I deeply feel called to do, but I don't feel like I have the expertise or the depth of wisdom in one particular path, because I've been dabbling so much. So it's coming down to this concept of mastery and of really finding your kind of like calling, your place in the world, your one thing that you want to master. And mastery is an interesting thing, as we have got limited time and space in our time, in our lifetime here. Right? There's only like so many things that we can really develop a deep mastery in, and to come to that. Yeah, to be in that journey of exploration and in the phase of exploration is beautiful, but also to come to a decision point and go with one that resonates most, or at least try that for a while, is also very beautiful. Have that as an anchor point. So yeah, this is what I've kind of like came to appreciate and realize after breaking convention. Hey, Fit Outside the Box, good to see you here. I'm going to Ecstatic Kirtan tonight. Didn't know the word meant worship. Cool. Beautiful. Ecstatic Kirtan is always beautiful. Community is always beautiful. Singing together is also very beautiful. Yeah. So to go into the spiritual practice. So the core practice that I basically wanna try out, which I haven't done too much in the past, is chanting a name of God. So basically, right, the goal is a constant, complete remembrance, embodiment, and realization of God and truth and love at every given moment in each and every day. But I found that to be quite difficult, because we're quite forgetful creatures. So it's like I try to remember, but it's like it's not happening, as the world of Maya and the illusion is pulling me into itself. And my mind is here and there and everywhere, and I actually just sometimes I remember with a deep breath or whatever, or I read a quote or whatever. It's like, but the constant remembrance is a way to that constant remembrance is what is in Sikhism is called Simran. Nam Simran. No, that's not it. I want to get it right. Yeah, I think it's Nam Simran. Nam Simran. So basically chanting the name of God, keeping the name of God in mind at all times. And so I've been struggling with like, which name of God? Like, I have this tendency to say like, I want to find the one that's most resonant with me. Is it Kali? Is it Shiva? Is it Jesus? Is it, right? It's a very interesting kind of like thread throughout many religions that they put emphasis on the name of God, even though ultimately most and all of them recognize that God or the absolute is nameless, it's formless, it's beyond the name itself. But the name seems to be a vessel that many teachers and gurus and mystics recommend as an entry point to that remembrance, to carry us through the form, over the ocean, to the formless, to the nameless. Um, some of my most like resonant teachers have been talking about this practice of Nam Simran as well. It's like Ananda Majima has really emphasized the repeating of God's name. Even Neem Kaure Baba, right, the guru from Ramdas, was chanting Ram, 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 Ram all day. So it's like a common practice, even in mystical Christianity in large. They're chanting the name of Jesus, they're singing the name of Jesus, and there's a very beautiful aspect to that, or singing to Allah. And I couldn't really resonate with any word of God, because I was more resonating with the Zen, Dzogchen, Tibetan Buddhism approach of beyond the name, beyond any name. Even though the Buddhists are also chanting Om Mani Padme Om, it's a similar kind of like thing. But yeah, so now I want to go and try to really deepen the relationship with. I'll try out a couple words, but Waheguru is a very popular one in Sikhism, and Satnam is also very beautiful. Or Ikonkar, just directly Ikonkar is also very beautiful. I want to try to really go with these, feel into them. I'm going to do a little vision quest next week. I'm going to be in nature for like 5 to 7 days. Maybe 3 days of fasting, maybe take some 5-MeO DMT with me and really strip away everything to just be naked before God and in nature. It's highly needed. But yeah, I really want to go into Satnam practice, Waheguru practice. Waheguru is an interesting one. I just recently found out what it meant. It basically means "Oh wondrous Lord," or right, or wondrous or marvelous enlightener. So Wah is almost like an acronym to oh wow, or this awe-inspiring beauty. Wow, Wah. And Guru is basically just meaning one that is leading from darkness to the light. And Guru in Sikhism oftentimes doesn't even refer to a physical human being as a guru, but the guru being God itself, or that divine force and consciousness itself, at least as far as I've understood it as well. Well, there is an emphasis on the physical guru, Guru Nanak, and the 10 following, and these mystical kind of like people here and there as well. But and that resonates. Is it basically so? It's basically a Waheguru, 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 a constant remembrance of that aspect of God that is awe-inspiring, that is beautiful, that is giving this response of wow, wow, wow. And that's beautiful because it resonates with my personal experiences, as that's what the psychedelics are showing over and over again. My most common response on an actual DMT experience is wow, or any other substance as well. It's an appropriate response towards the Guru, towards the One, towards the Lord that is enlightening us. So Waheguru is a beautiful one. It hasn't really has its roots in the origins of Sikhism, so from the first Guru, but I think it was the fifth one who compiled also the book, the Sire Guru Granth Sahib Ji, who came up with that Waheguru. And also it stands for, I think they kind of like combine some of the predominant names of God into Wa He Guru as well. So depending on how you write it, I think it was Vishnu and some other ones, and it basically merges all of them into one word. And Sat Nam is just direct to the truth. Hey Isak, good to see you. India has a lovely culture, so different to America. Absolutely. Yeah. And Satnam is just Satnam, 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 Satnam. So basically, constant reminder of truth. The name is truth. The name is truth. The name is truth. And this has been kind of like my main realization on this path as well. In my current understanding, everything is truth with the capital T. It's God is truth. Love is truth. You are truth. Right? So there's nothing but the truth, and that's very beautiful kind of description that the name is actual truth, and so truth is one of the most appropriate names for God that I have kind of like found, and that resonate with me. And so it's a wonderful practice. Actually, as a funny side note, I'm gonna be publishing a presentation in probably a couple months. It's going to take a while longer. I've been working on it for a long time. It's about the question, what are psychedelics and what is the nature of psychedelic, like the literal word mean, and what are some synonyms. And in that process of building that presentation and inquiring into the nature of language and the synonyms of psychedelics, I've come up with a new word for psychedelics. And it's got to do with some ancient Greek words, I think eido and aletheia, which I've mentioned in my recent 3-hour presentation as well, which I highly recommend you watch. It's called Psychedelics Are Not Embrace. It's a magic pill. And it basically means eidopharmalethics, so truth revealing. Truth in a sense of aletheia. It's a very kind of like particular perspective on truth. Eido means revealing, and then the pharma means basically substance induced. So this is what the psychedelics, in my understanding of reality, do. They reveal the truth of a particular situation. In a broader sense, we can say everything is truth revealing, as there is only truth, and everything is revealing the truth in a certain sense. It gets a bit philosophical and muddy, but I kind of like the approach to the psychedelic experience, and to especially kind of like the classic serotonergic psychedelics, to call them eidopharmalethics, so substances that reveal truth. It's very, very beautiful. So truth is gonna be a thing, and I've been contemplating about the future of this channel as well, and my body of work, and it's been back and forth with many things, right? It's about kind of like my program, the Psychonauts Path to Purpose, kind of like facilitating the journey of people who've had psychedelic experiences into finding their life purpose. But basically, what I've dialed it down to right now, and where it feels most alive and resonant for me right now, is helping you live your deepest truth. So that being kind of like on the relative, but also on the absolute level. So basically living in truth, living in alignment with truth, with capital T, and deepening that understanding of the divine, and also living your deepest truth, your authentic, honest self, which is in integrity, which is this purity of your essence, and being expressed in every aspect of your life, in your relationships, in your work, in your calling, in everything that you do. So basically that being kind of like the aim of psychedelic integration, as psychedelic integration is nothing separate from life itself, right? I've been contemplating, like, how do I like wrap my mind around psychedelic integration? But psychedelic integration is life. So, and truth is life as well. So my kind of like further body of work is going to be helping you live in truth after psychedelic experiences. That's what I'm most passionate about. So this is where I'm going to be gathering community programs around. I'm actually working on an online course right now. I have worked on an online course for like 5 years. It's insane, and it evolved with me, and I never actually kind of like came to publish any of this because I was overwhelmed. It's comes back to this. I wanted to include everything, but I'm a master of none of these things, right? I wanted to include I wanted to do the ultimate psychedelic course, and I wanted to include everything about the neuropharmacology and the shamanism and the ancient history and the language and the philosophy and what they do and the pitfalls and the integration and the preparation and the navigation, all of it, the whole bunch, dosing, routes of administration, all of this, and it was just overwhelming. It was impossible for me to do, as I did feel confident enough in all of these topics to present it out into the world. At first it was like the ultimate psychedelic beginners course, and then it was the ultimate psychedelic course in general. Then I wanted to dial it down to integration, but that's even too much of a big field for me to wrap my mind around. And so now I've kind of like distilled it down into its essence, and its essence is gonna be now living your deepest truth. So living your truth after psychedelic experiences. Sometimes we glimpse into psychedelic space, and we feel like ourselves, right? We discover aspects of ourselves. We come to appreciate and honor aspects of ourselves that have been hidden before. And then with that newfound insight and revelation, sometimes it's difficult to integrate that and to move that forward in our day-to-day actions, in the relationships, in the work that we do. So basically it's about that, carrying that truth into your life, living your deepest truth. And I found there's a couple of key pillars that I have distilled on my journey of psychedelic actualization, is what I call it, that I want to kind of like transmit and communicate in that course that I'm kind of like working on right now. And it's very interesting. So it's called the Psychedelic Actualization Framework. I did a post about it recently. You can see that post, or almost in every video there's a link which carries you through to a training which is explaining this framework a little bit. But I'm very excited about this framework as well. I don't know if you can see this. No, you can't. Am I gonna bother to show it to you? Do I have it at hand? No. So it's a framework. It's a cycle. It's a quadrant in a triangle in a in a circle, and that's kind of like everything I've learned from the most metaphysical kind of like perspective of the dance of what I call the dance of detached appreciation, detaching from any appearance whatsoever, but appreciating and loving every appearance of consciousness, perspective, and reality, what unconditionally and infinitely, which is going to allow us the space and the freedom to enjoy the journey. And the three core pillars are truth and love and health in their ultimate sense, recognizing the body as our temple, watching the body, taking care of ourselves, recognizing and inquiring into truth in its absolute sense, and love in its absolute sense. And then it basically, the core of the framework that I've distilled down now is really about very practical mindset shifts and attitudes towards life, and also action steps that are going to help us live our deepest truth. So that is about I would say, yeah, attitudes, traits, character traits that we can cultivate that are crucial on this path, like taking 100% responsibility, having a certain sense of commitment to honesty, a certain sense of devotion even, and some of these traits that are going to make this path easier, like a sense of humor, a sense of compassion, a sense of curiosity, non-judgment, all of these kinds of things. There's like 15 to 20 of those. Then there's principles that I've observed in life which are absolutely crucial to this journey, basically, of living your deepest truth. That's something like following your highest excitement, really understanding the essence of balance and the importance of balance, because everything is kind of like in this paradoxical dance between the sacredness of simplicity and the embrace of complexity, between prioritizing making decisions and decisiveness and surrendering to the journey, letting go a little bit more, opening and receiving. The hero's journey, as I mentioned, mastery, experimentation, wisdom. Going where the fear is. Daring to be who you are, not caring about what other people think. Really releasing that cultural conditioning, being a leader in your life. And then the other pillars are about values, so figuring out your values, and about vision, so actually crafting like a life purpose statement for yourself, crafting a big vision that's greater than yourself, that goes beyond your selfishness, and gives back to the world. And so wrapping all of this up into kind of like a conclusion and the next practical steps. That's what this course is going to be about. I'm very excited to be creating that one. That seems a bit more manageable, as it's going to be kind of like emerging from the essence of my heart. So this is what I'm working on. But almost every other week I'm kind of like throwing off. I have another one of these crazy ideas and I'm throwing it out the window, and I'm trying something new. Throwing something out of the window, trying something new. I recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I managed to do like a whole course, and I actually recorded it and published it. It's in German, in the German market. It's about decluttering. It's about decluttering your home. I did a 4-hour course about this, and now it's done. And now I have the burden of wanting to market it, which I'm now not passionate about anymore, and now it's laying there. It's funny. Isaac, I will come to your question. Virgo, I'm curious, have you ever dealt with spiritual attacks or envious, jealous spirits trying to take away from your... what was this? From your spiritual abilities, gifts, or talents? That's a very interesting question, and I have not fully come to a complete understanding around spiritual attacks or spirits in general. I don't feel the presence of many spirits, especially not envious or jealous ones that want to leech onto my energy, abilities, or gifts. I sense, as a preface, I sense that there is a reality to this. There is a overwhelming kind of, I wouldn't call it evidence, but kind of like, I have met people who have been attacked by brujos, these shamans, or black magic, some people who have spells, and there seems to be lots of data and perception around spiritual entities as well. And definitely, it seems to be a phenomena that people report that they feel like there is a dark entity attached to them that's sucking their energy. So to preface that, yes, I do believe it's a belief, it's not a knowing, right? That there is a sense of reality to that, and it's been reported for a long time, and many people deal with that. From my personal experience, that's not the case. Even my psychedelic experiences are very empty of spirits or beings. Especially, right, of envious or jealous spirits trying to take away something from me. And from my understanding of reality, I was reading a quote today, actually, and it was... I like to go to that ultimate perspective of some of the mystics, which actually it goes beyond the duality of me and you. And so it also goes beyond the duality of me and another spirit. So in that sense, it was Neem Kauri Baba who said, if you... Right, I'll read the full quote. A devotee asked, what do we do if we feel darkness or separation? And Neem Kauri Baba answered, if you love God enough, there will be no separation. If you love all, there can be no demon. So if you love all, there can be no demon. In its ultimate sense, when we arrive at the realization of oneness, it dissolves the separation and the duality between someone that is attacking you or that can take anything away from you, as it's all you, it's all spirit, it's all of the same essence. So and that's been kind of like my ground of understanding, which I am trying to live off of. And from that, there is not even a consideration of spirits. And then basically, if I feel drained, if I feel like there is something that's taking away from my spiritual abilities or gifts or talents or just my connection to spirit, my clarity of perception, then in my mind, I interpret that as me, myself. Not it's not a jealous, envious spirit or an attack from somebody else. Even though it could be, as I said, there seems to be a reality to these kinds of things in many other personal reports and experiences, but I interpret it as basically a mechanism of my mind, a fear, a deep-rooted fear, a defense mechanism of the ego that's afraid and that doesn't want to die. And so it's kind of like this, what many call this veil, or this cloud of Maya, this cloud of illusion, which is introducing the idea of duality and separateness, and me with this you, or right with this wrong, or better with this worse, right? In this world of duality. So I interpret it as me being the cause, or my lack of clarity and the cloud of Maya, of the illusion, being the cause of that suffering and that perception of being separate. Right, and in Sikhism as well, there's a lot of harsh talk against the ego. It's very, I don't know how I stand to that, because there seems to be an importance to develop a healthy psychological and moral maturity to live in society and culture, and spiritual awakening is not equaling a sense of moral or psychological maturity and development. But this sense of me seems to be the cause of that. So it's an interesting question, actually, that's been popping up for one or two people recently, and which I've been contemplating a bit, but not really. It's the question, what is evil? The question, what is evil, can really open up a lot of doors, just like the honest inquiry and contemplation around the nature of evil. What is evil and what is good? Right? So that's a very interesting one to contemplate, and can get you very deep into realization. So basically, my kind of like current understanding is that evil is that perception of separateness, right? And goodness, when we leave that realm of duality, there is just infinite goodness with a capital G. It has to be good, because God is good, right? Truth is good, but it's not a good in the duality of good and bad, or right and wrong, which is important, this relative realm, to live as a human being, not to neglect that, but to transcend that. It goes into infinite goodness, basically. And then there's no spiritual attacks from spirits anymore, because you recognize them as yourself and you love their appearance. You don't hold on to them. There's no attachment as well. the yeah, right. So deep detachment. Um, yeah, thank you for your insight. Yeah, thank you. Kusanagi, you're here. Yes, check out his music. Kusanagi is a very nice musician. I like to listen to his music. All right. So, where were we? I haven't even really started to talk about breaking convention, huh? So, shall we talk about breaking convention a little bit? Honestly, there's not much to say. So, I went to this psychedelic conference. It's called Breaking Convention in the UK. And it's a very, very beautiful place. It almost feels like home. I can highly recommend if you're somewhat into psychedelics to go to a psychedelic conference. It's a beautiful place to be. Um, it's a very balanced kind of like place to be. It's a beautiful mixture of academics and hippies, and like yeah, very open-minded, lovely and kind people, and also some of the most impressive people, like people who've really done incredible stuff, incredible work, have incredible ideas, right? And really kind of like going to these conferences and to these events has opened my eyes a lot, and has opened a lot of doors just by connecting with people. It's incredible what doors are opening just by being there. Um, so I don't know if there were any particular insights from some talks and how much I want to share those here. But there have been some insights in general from that time over there. So basically, the first insight. Hello, Scotty. Good to see you here. Hola, brother. um, so basically, the first insight, which I wasn't expecting, is I want to do more psychedelics. Like I want to do more drugs. Like I don't. I want to explore more a wider variety of substances and do more insane stuff. Just like insane journeys. I think the opening guy, I forgot his name, but a very beautiful, beautiful brother there, who has been doing this work for like 60 years or something. He was telling his story of how they were connecting with the mushrooms. They were like on the mountains, naked, taking high doses of mushrooms, singing and screaming to life itself, connecting to the land that they were born in, connecting to God. And I was like, wow, I've had like one or two of these experiences, but not really, like not in the intensity and boldness and craziness that he was describing. And that was really inspiring. And I've heard many other people kind of like describe similar things of just insane stuff, like insane, crazy stuff regarding higher doses, regarding exotic substances, regarding just courageous explorations of consciousness. And I have been on my path kind of like going deep to a certain extent. I still feel like I'm at the beginning of my psychedelic journey. I kind of like go a little bit deeper with the substance until I burn myself, and then I retreat back and I kind of like integrate, right? So that's been kind of like my approach to what psychedelic actualization is, to do it in a mature and responsible way, but also not to overdo it. So really leave time for integration. Go in maybe every couple of months. Then there's phases where I go in more, and then there's phases where I go in less and I integrate a bit more. But really, like I've been inspired to just explore the territory more. Also, really, yeah, deepen my experience in the field, and also basically to pick a lane. This is what I was mentioning in the beginning of this video. When I looked around in the field, and I looked at the people giving presentations, right? A presentation is automatically kind of like dialed down on one topic, even though other than if you're specializing on the big picture of everything, which some people are doing, and which is beautiful as well. Right? When people write a PhD even, then they are honing in on one specific question. One specific question, not too broad. They're really nailing it down to one specific thing, and they're exploring that as deeply as possible and like creating a body of work out of that specific question. And so it's been interesting to see some of these, like what we might call experts or just people having a lot of experience, right? One person has had a lot of experience in just Amanita muscaria. That was her thing. And she has done and explored all traditions and cultures and went out to Russia to tribes who are working with Amanita and is giving ceremonies with Amanita and guidance around Amanita. Some other people have been exploring NN-DMT or 5-MeO-DMT, and then some that I really resonate with. There's one, he's called Christopher Timmerman, absolutely beautiful brother who is doing incredible work. He's really nailing it down onto, well, a little bit of like the neuropharmacology and neurology of psychedelics and the mechanisms in the brain, but also really comparing that and bringing in the metaphysics and really bringing in the subjective experience and the value of the phenomenology. Or another guy, James Sander, I think was his name. His job sometimes at the research they were doing with 5-MeO-DMT in Mexico at Tandava retreats. His job was to capture and explore the microphenomenology of the 5-MeO-DMT experience. See how specific that is? Like he's a philosopher and is an expert in phenomenology or microphenomenology and is applying that to the nature of the 5-MeO-DMT experience. Incredible, very inspiring to see that picking a lane and dedicating yourself to one field and really mastering a certain field. Not to say that these people are not exploring other things and doing other things in their life or in their work, but yeah, having that sense of commitment to one specific thing really inspired me to say, like, what is my thing? Like, what do I really want to master here? What's and it has allowed me to zoom out a little bit more. Scotty's saying, Cactus Scone, got some medicine in me at the moment. Yes, beautiful. Exotic substances are my favorite. Time to explore San Pedro. Yeah, mescaline is a big one on the list. Many people love mescaline. There were actually some, I forgot their name. There were some indigenous people at the conference as well. They were talking about protection of peyote and their tradition of working with the cactus and mescaline, which was beautiful to see some indigenous voices in there as well in the UK. Very important, very important. So yeah, I was thinking, like, what's my stick, what's my thing, and I just can't, like, I always come back to mysticism and truth, and that's it basically. So and then with the substance, I've seen this meme recently. It's like, what's your favorite psychedelic? And then this guy's answering, he's like, I'm not indecisive, but I just can't decide. This is how I feel at times. I love them all. I would like to master them all, but currently what's calling me most from the stuff that I've experienced is 5-MeO-DMT or ayahuasca. And with ayahuasca being a bit more of a nuanced, well, they're both kind of like nuanced pathways, but ayahuasca, there's a little bit of a broader framework around it, a deeper tradition, a deep apprenticeship, and I might follow that path on the side. But with 5-MeO-DMT, what's interesting is it's such a novel compound. It's a very empty slate. It's a blank slate. There's some practitioners out there, but it's a very kind of like novel phenomena. And yeah, we have some traced history of some Yopo or some brews with 5-MeO-DMT as well, but with the synthetic version, it's like it's a very unique field, and it deeply relates to mysticism and truth, in a sense. So I feel like I really want to make that my area of expertise. So with what I mentioned in the beginning, an anchor point in spirituality, which might be Sikhism and Dzogchen or Zen. I haven't decided yet, but probably Sikhism. And building on top of that framework with the openness to mysticism in general, a framework for facilitating and practicing and prepping and integrating a practice of 5-MeO-DMT, basically for self-realization, and then the integration of that self-realization or that peak experience of oneness back into a moment-to-moment embodied presence and authentic expression and embodiment in daily life. I think this is what I will go with right now, and then basically also connecting that to language. I got really passionate about language, as you might see in my channel. It's like I'm talking. This is what I like to do, and to have like a really nice framework of language around the experience. As I said, adopharmalethic, truth revealing substances, because language embodies worldview. As you haven't noticed, like thoughts are language. Right? And the thought is kind of like creating the perception of reality. So language embodies worldview. A language is a mirror to our inner world. And novel ways of capturing or framing words and speech open up a new dimension for studying and integrating transformation induced by psychedelics. So this is really, really kind of like interesting to have a framework of words. As I said, contemplating what is evil, what is good, what is God, what is truth, what do these words mean, what is beauty, what is awe, what is wonder, and building a linguistic framework around the experience of, for example, 5-MeO-DMT and mysticism, that is embracing paradox, that is looking at the metaphysics, at the epistemology, ontology of God. Also some interesting kind of like philosophical thought systems like panpsychism or pantheism or panentheism, I think it's called. I've just recently heard from them. It's very interesting. And then building a holistic framework and a way to live that and carry that insight and experience onwards in life with the integration of those experiences. So I think this is where it's calling me. And so with that kind of like beginning point of a decision, I'm gonna change a lot in my life, actually. So to be completely honest with you, the last couple of years I've been investing a lot into this channel. I've been just doing some videos. I've been working in the background. I've been working so much on stuff, just like courses or materials for my coaching clients, master classes and workbooks. I've been doing a coach training certification. I'm actually doing coaching. Actually, I'm opening up some spots after my Vision Quest next week. So if you're curious about one-on-one coaching, there is 1 or 2 spots opening. You can book a call with me. Link is in the video description. First link in the video description. If you're curious about one-on-one coaching. So this is what I've been focusing on, building the coaching practice and building some systems around this pathway here right now. But to be honest, it's like it's not enough money for me to be living off of. So it's been this constant struggle of like trying to make something happen and not being able to, but then also neglecting a little bit of my travels or my practice in order to study more marketing or study more like whatever else is kind of like in that field of trying to make a business work and the practicalities of it and the paperwork, and it's like it's a bit of a headache sometimes. So this is what I've been investing a lot of time into. So I want to step back from that, step even back from this channel a little bit, and kind of like start this new path of doing everything I do with this channel and framing it around living your deepest truth, as I've explained, with the new course that's coming with the attitude, teaching the attitudes towards your personal pursuit of truth and your inquiry into your truth. And then the truth in the absolute sense with the 5-MeO DMT and the mysticism, and the Sikhism, and really deepening my practice over there. And also I'll probably go get a job. There's jobs, yeah, I applied to some jobs, and there's probably one that I'll be doing, which allows me to travel more, and then I'll go and go out to more ceremony. That's basically my core simple step right now. It's just go to more 5-MeO ceremonies, do more 5-MeO DMT, and go to more ceremonies. So be in the space to see how people are facilitating that space. Then probably I'll do the Tandava 5-MeO training in Mexico. It's one of the best kind of like facilitation trainings out there. Go to more retreats, do some shadowing, and invest in that kind of like path. And from that, practice with the mysticism and pursuit of truth in conjunction with the 5-MeO DMT. I think there's beautiful content and experience emerging for you guys as well. So this channel is gonna be carried forward with that essence of truth, with that embodiment and that actual practice as well. And I'm really kind of like drawn inwards right now, just to go out into nature, do some Nam Simran practice, chant the name of God, be in nature, and kind of like close down almost like a chapter of my life right now and move into a new phase of my life with a more specific dedication and a more specific path of mastery, which is interesting, which is scary to a bit, because I know that if I decide to go deep with the 5-MeO DMT, there's not just one but a couple deep spiritual emergencies and dark night of the souls that are gonna be emerging right here. But that's beautiful. You know, it's the sacrifice, as so many people say. It was Chris Beige in LSD and the Mind of the Universe, and also Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. I think he said, if you want to be given everything, you have to give everything up. And in the Tao Te Ching, I think it says, if you want to become whole, let yourself be partial. If you want to become straight, let yourself be crooked. If you want to become full, let yourself be empty. If you want to be reborn, let yourself die. And if you want to be given everything, give everything up. Is one of my favorite quotes. It's such a profound one. And to give everything up, it's a sacrifice. It's a pathway of purification, which is gonna emerge, and that's beautiful. And I recently reformatted my workbook, my spiritual emergency workbook, which some of you might have already read, and now it's actually not free anymore. So if you're curious about it, it was free for a while, but I have to look at how I can live off of this. You know, so now it's reformatted. It's a bit expanded as well, but it's a complete guide to spiritual emergency, which was born out of my own kind of like crisis. There's a link right there, and now it's for sale for $9. So beautiful kind of like conjunction that there's gonna be more content about spiritual crisis and emergency and navigating the difficulty of this horrendously beautiful path of awakening as well, because this is deeply intertwined. Yeah. What else? What else? Honestly, I guess music is another one. Really developing some more expertise in music. I'm gonna throw away lots of my belongings as well very soon. Probably tomorrow I'll do like a cleanse and clean out some stuff that I own. I wanna really boil my belongings down to their absolute essence. I love that practice of throwing stuff away. Maybe even memories. I'm not sure about like past journals and pictures. But yeah, really physical space reconsideration for this new chapter. Going more into music, learning Spanish, and just, yeah, I think the main thing is just gonna be spiritual practice and reading scripture, maybe learning the Japji Sahib. Yeah, that's it. Let's end this here. I promised my roommate that I want to make this not too long live stream, and I want to enjoy my evening because it's been a long day. I've been working quite a lot the last couple of days, but I'm excited to be disappearing for a week into nature. Really have a little vision quest, and yeah, stay tuned for more content. There's some more content rolling out from Madagascar. I will try to get into the rhythm of the live streams at least once a week or twice a week again, because I really enjoy them with you here, right? I really enjoy spending time with you here. It's very beautiful. Yeah, I love that. I think this is gonna be kind of like the new main video content. Is just me sharing about my life and recent insights and stuff in the live streams, and you guys seem to be enjoying those as well. And then the main content is gonna move more towards legacy content. So what I mean by that is more of these deep presentations, 3 hour long, really worked out stuff. There's one coming up, as I said, what are psychedelics, which is going to be an insane theme and topic and course in and of itself. There's going to be one of the talk I gave recently at King's College. It's actually a really nice one. It was a really nice one. You can check that out on the channel. It's called King's College Talk, Psychedelics as a Spiritual Practice. It's like 5 videos or 7 videos away. I really highly recommend you check it out, but I want to make it in a proper format with proper audio stuff as well. But this is a really interesting one. I like that field of expertise. Psychedelics as a spiritual practice. Very specific question. Very broad and deep and complex topic as well. But this is where I kind of like want to develop my work as well further on. And then maybe some stuff that I've gathered around psychedelic integration, around community support, around life purpose, and around living your truth and authenticity. This is what's coming up. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all very much for being here. Let's chant one last time and end this here. Short and sweet. Thank you. Ik Onkar, Satguru Prasad, Satguru Prasad, Ik Onkar. So there is only one creator in the whole of creation, and everything is a blessing, is the grace of that creator, everything. And this realization itself happens just through its grace alone. Ek Onkar, Satguru Prasad, Satguru Prasad. 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 Ek Onkar. Ek Onkar, Satguru Prasad, Satguru Prasad. Ek Onkar. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think in the study of Sikhism, I might be embarking on the journey of learning what's the name of this language. I think it's a particular kind of language. It's called Punjabi or something, which the Sikh mantras and the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is written in. So it's not Sanskrit, which is a bit sad because I was curious about learning Sanskrit as well, but it seems to be a very beautiful language as well. Oh. Great, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I love you all and see you soon.